soon to come a day, gonna be a bigger star. Then they make a TV shows and the movies, get myself a new car. But still I be myself, I don't want it to change a thing. Still I dance and I sing. I think about the mama, she used to say, what's the matter you? Hey, got no respect. What do you think you do? Why you look so sad? It's not so bad, it's a nicer place. Ah, shut up with your face. Mama, she said it all of the time. What's the matter you? Hey, got no respect.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Sal and Angelo podcast. I'm coming to you from the Punchline Comedy Club Green Room. Got special guest, Mr. Sebastian Maniscalco. Sebastian, thanks for doing this, man. I appreciate it, dude.
Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it. Didn't have to go far for this.
Yeah, right here in the Green Room. First of all, right off the bat, though, I want to talk about that. Your name, dude. We'll do this for backup. I heard, like, I kind of respect that you never changed your last name for, like, showbiz. And, like, did people tell you should because it's so hard?
Yeah, when I first started out, I just went by Sebastian because nobody could pronounce the last name, so I just did Sebastian, and I got a lot of slack for Sebastian because the people were like, what are you, Madonna, it's Fabio, whatever.
Really?
But, yeah, it was just because nobody could pronounce Maniscalco, and nobody actually came up to me and said, hey, you need to change your last name. I don't know, being Italian, take a lot of pride in the last name, and I think, it's a long name, but I think it's, it's my family, and I don't think that would be fair to my grandfather or my father to change my name.
That's how,
the show business.
That's how I feel. Like, it's the same thing. Kalani, people are like, well, it's hard to pronounce, but I respect that about you.
Well, thanks. There's a lot of people in Hollywood, though, that you wouldn't think are Italian through their name because they changed it.
That's an insult, no? So, I mean, I know guys up here do that, and it's like, really?
Yeah.
And so we get no love. So Sebastian, he's here at the Comedy Punchline. He's got two specials. You just did an hour special like a year ago. It just came out on DVD 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
Showtime. I don't know. It was like you did like the first hour, what, a few years ago?
2005, I shot my first Comedy Central special, and then I just shot this one April of 2011, and it aired January 5th on Showtime, and the DVD just came out a couple weeks ago, and now I'm just kind of going around to the clubs, trying to work on new stuff, and kind of give a mix of old and new, and
right.
That's kind of like the struggle right now, is to always be coming up with the new material.
It's gotta be. So, it's gotta be. Do you have like a real Italian following?
I've noticed tonight, we're in San Francisco tonight, and I've noticed tonight that there were more Italians here than I think the rest of the shows this week.
Yeah.
And the Italians are starting to come out just because they like to support, their own. And like we were talking early in the week, there's no Italians in show business as far as
comedy especially
is concerned. I mean, there are Italians, don't get me wrong. There's like the greats, Adam Herrera and whatnot, but I mean, there's not really any 100% Italian comedians out there that are. I don't know what's going on with the Italians.
They changed their names.
Yeah, they changed their names. Maybe I don't know.
So Sebastian, originally from Chicago. Your father. This is very interesting. I just found this out this week. Sebastian's father and my father grew up an hour apart from each other on the island of Sicily, which that's fucking crazy to me.
Yeah,
like I don't even know any other Sicilians. So you grew up in Chicago. Was it a very Italian family?
I don't know what type of family environment you grew up in, but just by your act, I could tell might have been a little bit more Italian than mine. My mother was born here in the States. My father was born in Sicily and came here when he was 15.
That's exactly when my dad came. 15.
Yeah, 15.
That's so fucking weird.
It's wild. Although your mother's not Italian.
My mom's not Italian, okay. But like in that situation, it's like the Italian side kind of takes over. You know what I mean? It's like, and that's what we did. My mom was like a few generations here, so it was like everything was Italian. We ate the pasta, all the time. Did you So what do you mean? Like they weren't that Italian? Did they cook a lot? Or?
No. I mean by that I mean my father was in a business doing hair, and he became a lot more Americanized faster because he was dealing with customers on an everyday basis. A lot of Italians They go into the business of concrete and construction and deal with their hands a lot.
Right.
And they don't communicate with people on an everyday basis. They do a lot of labor work.
Right.
Especially that generation.
Right.
But my father had to deal with people, and he became very kind of fluent in the English language. So, yes, he still has an accent, but he's not, come on, come on. He's not. He's not that. Well, that's what I mean by not that Italian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you speak it at all?
No, like you were saying,
It sucks, doesn't it?
And then my father blames himself because he never taught us as young kids.
Right.
And then as I grew older, I have to take some responsibility too because, what's wrong with learning Italian? However, when I went back to Italy with my father last summer, I was amazed how I picked up on the language. I took it for 2 years in high school, and I got a basic sense of it. But when I was in Italy, I felt if I would have stayed there 2 or 3 months, I could have been having conversational Italian.
Really?
Yeah. It's amazing how much you pick up.
Fluent.
I could understand more than I could speak, but I could get my way around Italy better than I thought I was going to.
Okay, wow. All right, so you was in Chicago. Did you go to college in Chicago?
Went to Northern Illinois University, graduated there in 1995. 95, yeah, with a corporate organizational communications degree. With an emphasis in stand-up. And, I always knew I was going to get into stand-up, and I wanted to quit college my freshman year, but my father convinced me, stay in school, get the degree, and then you could do whatever you want after that. And a lot of families in the entertainment business don't support the arts or acting or music from their kids.
Right.
Especially come immigrant family.
Yeah, I didn't get that at all.
Health insurance is a big, like, where are you going to get health insurance?
Right.
So
your old man was cool with it?
Yeah, they were really supportive. They were like, you know what, whatever makes you happy.
Wow.
And, and I had that support system. And now, 2012, my mother's living out in Los Angeles. My sister's living out in Los Angeles.
Really?
So my father's the only one still in Chicago. But
your parents split up?
Split up about three and a half years ago. So they divorced.
Oh, wow.
And my father is got a girlfriend, and my mother's single and living out in L.A.
Wow. How old is your sister? Younger or older?
Yeah, she's 5 years younger. She has a baby, and she's married. So it's nice to have family in Los Angeles because Los Angeles is a tough town.
Yeah. They move out for you?
No, my sister always wanted to move to L.A. She moved out 2 years after I came out. We lived together for 6 months. She got her feet, kind of in the ground, and she edits movie trailers, and
that's
I'm
sweet.
doing stand-up.
So you come out to Chicago, from Chicago to L.A. You did I read you did you were a waiter. Mm-hmm. Or at the Four Seasons or something.
The Four Seasons.
Did you have to do that a long time?
I did that 1998 to 2005. I
Holy shit.
tables in their Windows Lounge. Waited on a lot of celebrities, and I wouldn't have changed a thing about the way my career is going or went or whatnot. Even though I was waiting tables and I didn't want to wait tables, it was a way for me to put food on the table,
right.
pay my rent, and anytime anybody asks me if I, what do you do, I always say, waiting tables, and I'm doing stand-up comedy.
Right.
I was never ashamed to say I was working a lot of comedians don't like to admit that they have a job to supplement their income. They like to say, yeah, I just do stand-up.
Right. No, you don't.
Yeah, right. So the job was great. It paid well. Actually, I think I made more money doing waiting than I'm making now.
Yeah. Wow. So then, okay, so you're in LA, you're doing the clubs, you're working as a waiter. When does that start changing? Do you start seeing a change?
Well, you get these gigs, as you well know, you're coming up through the ranks, and big podcast, Edwin, big.
Yeah, yeah. How about you, huh? The fuck? A bunch of Italians in here, we don't need this.
Chinaman. No, so...
you get these gigs.
Yeah, there's these little gigs that you get. And when you first start out, pay was never a big thing for me. A lot of comedians were like, "Oh, how much does the gig pay?" Or "What do you get out of the gig?" I had my pay from the Four Seasons, so to me, it was the stage time. It was about the practice. It wasn't about getting $30-$35, which
Right.
I totally respect. You got to get paid for your work, and you need to put money on the table. But for me, the situation I was in, I was making a good living, waiting tables. So when somebody said, hey, you want to drive out an hour and a half to Santa Barbara and do a 45-minute set for a dinner,
Right.
I'd go because I couldn't get a 45-minute set anywhere else.
Yeah.
So it was more for the stage time than the money. And then it just increasingly got better as time went on. You know, I was working less as a waiter, more as a comedian, not necessarily headlining, but I maybe get like a corporate gig that paid $1,000 or $500, which means I don't have to go into work for 2 nights or 3 nights.
Right.
So,
is there a moment then where you get that break where then you can start doing an hour special?